Hey, rayodaniel here. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to continue our high-level video series features. This video, we're going to be covering surveys and what surveys are about, how you do it, and how you can automate surveys inside of Highlevel. Before we get started, please click on the subscribe button to this channel. Really helps support me out. I appreciate it. And let's get to it. So here we see we're inside of a sub-account. This right here is just the beginning dashboard, but to get to the surveys, we're going to have to go to Sites and then over to the Survey Builder. So before we get started here, I want to show you a couple of different ways that you can do surveys, and I would like to show you how in this video to automate that using a workflow. Now, why go through all this trouble? Why go through the trouble of building a workflow and provide automation? It's because Highlevel does not offer you a convenient button on the toolbar inside of the CRM. Let me show you what that is. If you haven't looked at the full CRM video that I have a complete video on this channel covering the CRM, but if we look here, this toolbar button across the top is very convenient. You're allowed to select multiple contacts, or you can pick a smart list and just simply highlight everybody and just click a button to send them a message, send them all an email, things like that. It's very convenient. The only problem with this is there's no button on this toolbar for sending out a survey. Unfortunately, that it doesn't exist. So right now what we're going to end up doing is utilizing this button where it says add to campaign or workflow. So I'm going to show you how to build a workflow to automate that survey so you can have that sort of click function inside of Highlevel and be able to automate and send out surveys to everyone. Okay, awesome. So let's get back to the survey area. Now I've got a couple of different surveys. I want to show you different types first. And then once I do this, you kind of get the picture of which way you want to do it. So we're going to start with just customer satisfaction survey. Now I only added 3 questions onto this, but you can add as many questions as you like. Keep in mind, any of the questions that you add will have to be custom fields that you create. So if you come here inside of the form, over here on the left-hand side, I'll try to blow this up a little bit here, but you see there's standard fields that come in Highlevel: first name, last name, email, things like that. Well, if you want to collect very specific data, you're going to have to create a custom field, or in a sense a placeholder, to store that information at the contact level. So this is where you have to put in custom fields. Now in this custom field, I've already created them once here, but you would just simply come down to add a custom field. Let me blow this back up here. You would then select what type is this going to be. Is this going to be a single text line input, multi-line where people can type out multiple lines? Is it going to be a number, phone number, radio button, drop-down list, checkboxes? Depends on what you want to offer them. You're going to see right now we use the radio select. That way it's kind of like well, I'll show you what that's like here, but these are the different types that you can create. Once you create them, I'm going to blow this back up here. They become available over here on the right-hand side, so you can just drag and drop. So we've got 3 simple questions here. We've got purpose of visit. How would you rate our service? Now the purpose of visit is a multi-line field, so people can just type out whatever they want. How would you rate our service? 1 being worst, 10 being the best. These are radio buttons. And then recommend us to a friend. Yes or no. Again, a radio button. So they can only select one of those instead of a radio button. So anyway, these are the 3 questions that I've added. Now, here's one of the issues that I've run across when I was doing surveys inside of Highlevel is there's not a great way to tie a survey to a particular contact record. Now, if you've ever filled out a survey and gotten something from a hotel or a place you stayed or something like that, typically the survey does not include having you fill out your personal information. You don't need to put your email address on the survey to identify you. Typically, the identification is already done behind the scenes, and when you click on it, you're sort of identified on the link that you click, so that when you click on it, you just simply fill out the survey, and then there you have it. You fill out, submit it, and then now that gets registered under your information because the person who sent you the survey knows who it was that clicked on that link. So again, you can have email on your form if you want to. Highlevel just needs 1 or 2 pieces of information, either an email or a phone, to sort of connect who is filling out this form to a contact in your CRM system. So that's the problem. Now, one of the issues is people don't always type stuff in correctly. Even if they did want to fill this out, they may fill out their email address incorrectly. And if that's the case, what's going to happen is Highlevel is going to create a duplicate contact. Because that email address was mistyped, it won't match an email address that's currently in the system. So if that's the case, then it creates a duplicate contact, and all the survey results get stored in the duplicate contact, not in the contact that you would expect or that you sent that out to. So that's the problem with having people fill out their own information. But if you wanted to, you can put an email or phone number field in your survey, submit it out, and then they could fill that information out. When they submit it, the Highlevel system will now be able to recognize that phone or email and then tie those responses back to an individual contact. Now, me personally, I don't like that approach because of the user error I explained earlier. So right now, what I'm going to do is go back into the survey builder. I'm not going to save any of these here. And I'm going to go into the customer satisfaction survey 2. So in this one, very similar, except if you take a look here, you notice that the email address field is hidden. I don't want the users to see it. On the form, it's there. But I don't want the people, when I send this out, to be able to see that field because I'm going to populate that field for them. And I'm going to do that using something called a query string. So if I click on this particular field here, I'm going to expand this back out. Over here on the right-hand side, we're going to make this a hidden field. Notice I'm going to try to make this a little bit larger here for you. That I don't make it required because it can't be required and hidden at the same time. But make it a hidden field. Again, it shows up as hidden right here, and then the people don't see it, and I'll show you what that looks like. The query key, this right here, if you're going to be building a workflow to automate this part is critical and key. You need to put something in here, and it doesn't really matter what you put in here. You just have to know and remember what the name of this query key is. So I'm just going to use email just to make it easy. So that's what I'm using. Now, if we come back over here and look at the form, and let's just say we were to link to it, notice on this form, when people look at it, they don't see the email address at the top. It's gone. All they see are the 3 fields they need to submit. You see the little status bar here at the bottom, and then the submit button over to the bottom right for your survey. So that's what you end up getting. Now, what I'm going to do is go into the workflow area and show you how you can build a workflow. It's a very simple one-step workflow to help you out with automating sending out these surveys to where people don't have to type in their email address. So if we go to automations here, I just have one workflow here, customer satisfaction survey. Now, on this one, notice I just have email survey. That's the only thing I've got in this workflow, and I've got no trigger. Now, the reason I have no trigger is because you're going to be manually implementing this every single time. So there's no trigger that's going to automate this process. You're going to go to the CRM system, select whoever you want, and then you're going to add them to this workflow. And then that's going to trigger sending out surveys. So that's how this is going to work. Now, if you're going to be sending this out to multiple people here, I just want to make sure you make a note of it here. Go into the settings and make sure that you allow multiple right here. Make sure that checkbox is on. If you do not allow multiple, then once somebody goes through this process once, they will not be able to go through it again. The workflow will not send them another survey again. So just to be careful about that, you do need to allow multiple if you're sending this out multiple times to people. So let's take a look at the email survey. Now, this email survey step is just an email step. That's all it is. So if, let me just show you that. If you come here to click a button and you just want to do send email, this link right here is all we're doing. We're just sending an email. So I'm going to click on this and say email survey is the action name. I just made this up, ABC Marketing, forgive me. And from email address is office@abcmarketing.com, fake email address, so don't try to use it. The subject on this is just going to be survey. Not very ingenious, but the key down here is what I want to work with you on. So I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Now, inside the message of the email, I just said, please take a minute to fill out our survey. Survey link. And I took the form here. So what we can do is go back and get the form link that we had there, and that's this right here. So we copy and pasted that link. Okay. Now, what we did is we added this section. This is the where the magic happens. This is called a query string. So in order to do this, you're going to have to put in a question mark at the end of that link, and then use whatever query key you had, which is going to be email. The email is the query key that we had already set up on there. And we're going to say equals. And then what we're doing here is we're using Highlevel's CRM feature to go to the contact, get their email that we already have on file, and just insert the email into this link. That way, the email address is never mistyped. They don't have to fill it out. Highlevel does have that personal piece of information that's going to allow that information to be stored back in their personal custom or contact record whenever they submit it. All of that stuff is going to be handled. So using this is a perfect way to implement sending out surveys and automating that entire process. So that's not too hard. You have to do two things. I'll go over it again. You need to make sure that you put the query key. You're going to hide the email address field. And by the way, you could do this with phone number if you wanted to use phone number, but I'm just using email. But you can hide the field on the form. Then what's going to happen is you're going to go over and put in the query key, use whatever value you want. And then when you come over here, you need to make sure that you put that query key exactly the way it sounds here. Now, ultimately, what happens when somebody clicks on this link? When they click on the link, and I'm going to show you here, this right here is just an example of the email that I was practicing with here. So this is the email. Survey is the title, ABC Marketing, office at ABC Marketing, all that stuff is good. Please take a minute to fill out our survey. Here's a survey link, and notice that the link comes across as a link, and you have if you look here, you have the question mark email equals and this kind of fake email address. Now, when you click on this link, what it does is it goes out to this form that you already have. Now, the email address that you actually have in there actually pre-populated the hidden email address field on this form. So that's what the query string does. It sends the information to the form, and then the form says, hey, I see the query key up there. I'm going to take that information and put it in the email address field. So that way, when people fill this out and they go take a look at this and submit this, that information gets submitted right back to Highlevel, and it goes automatically into their contact record in Highlevel. So this is how you build a workflow to automate surveys. Now, great. Now we have the survey. Now we have the workflow. How do we implement this? How do we actually do it? So right now you just simply go into your contacts area, and you would just simply highlight, click as many people as you want, choose a smart list, however you want to do it. And you're going to click on this little button right here that says add to workflow. And here we're just going to say okay and proceed. We're going to choose the workflow customer satisfaction survey. And we just send it out. Boom. Now the email address gets sent, that workflow gets initiated for every individual that you have selected. And then therefore every person that goes through the workflow will have a custom link with their email address assigned to the end of it. And they'll get an email that just simply says, can you please fill this out and give us a survey? Now, this was just an email. Could you do the exact same things with a text message? Absolutely. Now, granted, if in a text message, it gets a little bit more complicated because of the length of the URL here. So you're going to have to play around with that with like a bit shortener or something like that. But this is all we're just doing here, just showing you a way that you can come into the CRM system, highlight people, click on a workflow, and send out a survey to automate this. Now, you can do this with any survey that you create, but you understand you would have to create a new workflow for every survey that you want to automate and send out, because each survey is going to have a different link, and you'll have to customize that link. But the great thing about workflows is that you can simply copy them and just simply change a few of the values, copy and paste the new link URL, and you're good to go. So that right there is, in this very basic, simplest form, how you can take a survey, how you can build a workflow around it, and how you can automate it in Highlevel CRM system. And you can do that for as many workflows as you want. Now, hopefully you guys got a lot out of that. What I'm going to do now is show you another cool trick inside of a Highlevel with survey builders is how can you build logic, meaning how can you customize the survey experience based upon how people answer the survey. So there are certain pieces of logic that you can have inside of Highlevel when it comes to the survey. So I'm going to use the customer satisfaction with logic. That's just what I called it. So right now we see we've got the same custom field. How would you rate our service? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Now in this field here, I'm just going to make up a scenario. You can create whatever you want. I'm going to say if anybody answers 1 through 7, either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, then I'm going to send them to a particular form and get more information because I want to find out why our service was so bad. So that's what I want to do. If somebody answers either 8, 9, or 10, then I want to send them to a form and ask them for a Google review. That's what I want to do. So let me show you how you would do that. Now, before I move on, I want to sit back and help you understand what they call slides inside of surveys. So a slide is basically 1 page of a survey. So if you've ever done a survey where you had to fill out 3 or 4 questions on 1 page, you click next and there were some more questions, you click next and there was another page. Well, each one of those page forms, if you could think about it, it's a slide inside of Highlevel. So if you look here, we've got multiple slides inside of this one. This slide just has 1 question on it. Slide 2 has 1 question that gathers data. Slide 3 has a question on it and so forth. So we've got 5 slides in this survey. Now, when people log in initially, they're going to get this very first page. Now, if you click on this little field here, how would you rate our service? Notice over here, I'm going to see if I can blow this up. Give me a second here. Here's the logic area. So if they answer 1, I want to send them to slide 2. Again, if they go 1 through 7, I'm sending them to slide 2. If they answer 8, 9, or 10, I want to send them to slide 3. So let's take a look at that. So slide 2, what does slide 2 say? Slide 2 is if they answered 1 through 7, I want to send them something that says, what could we have done better? Or however you want to phrase it or word it. You have a multi-line thing here. Well, your service was awful. Nobody was at the front desk. I had to wait 5 minutes. People are going to complain about it. But right now, if somebody answered that low on your, how would you rate us? Probably not a good idea to ask them for a review because the review probably is not going to be good. And if you don't, I wouldn't say good, great. And if you don't get a great review, then you probably don't want people going out and filling out a review and putting in a 2 or 3 star review that's going to end up hurting you. So this is a way, in a sense, of filtering who those people are and only taking the best people that choose the higher rating service and send them to a Google review. So again, if they answered 1 through 7, they will go here to this particular slide. If they answered 8, 9, or 10, great. It says, would you leave us a great review? Now, when we're doing this, notice that this is a radio button 2, yes or no. With this, we can have additional logic on this slide. So let's take a look at that. So here on this slide, if they answered yes, we're going to send them to slide 4. If they answered no, we're going to send them to slide 5. So if they answer slide 4, great. Here's a link to our review on Google, and this right here is just where you would put in your review link. You would go inside of your settings and you go to reputation management, and there's a little review link at the top that gets generated. I can't do that on this sub account because this isn't a real company. It's not tied to Google My Business. It's just for sort of demo purposes. But in your live account, you would have a review link there. You would copy that review link and you would paste it on this slide. So that's what you would end up doing. Now, if they answered yes, they want to leave a review link, I would say, here's a link to our review. If they said, no, I don't want to leave you a review, it would just be, thank you for taking our survey. So now that we've done that, let's kind of come back here and look at this live in action. So here's the form that somebody will be filling out. Now, one of the great things about Highlevel is it's as soon as people make a selection, the survey will move to the next slide for them. So they don't have to click something and then click continue. So here, let's just say if we were to pick 5. Notice Highlevel said, oh, you've already picked 5. Now you went to the, because it was 1 through 7 in that area, we're going to get what could I have done better on this one. So this is where you could just type something in. You can submit the survey. Would you leave us a great review? No. Thank you for taking our survey. So that right there is kind of like how you would end up walking through the survey and using the logic. So anyway, I hope you found this useful, that you can do a little bit of logic inside of your surveys, and you can just do some customization on how people traverse through your survey. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you did find it useful and informative, please click on the like, bell notification, so you get a notice that whenever we post new videos. We do try to post them a couple times a week. And just thank you. If you haven't, please subscribe to our channel. Help me out a lot. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Hey, I want to thank you again for visiting my channel, and give you one more little thing here. If you are interested in Highlevel and getting some additional high-level training, please see the link in the description below. I do have a free course I'm offering that covers everything related to Highlevel and gives you all the information that you need to know. Thank you so much, and have a great day.